Welcome everyone, here's Geraldinho Lemos and I'm here with Marco Gander and Silvana Saldanha to the program To Know Spiritism. We are live from Brazil, from Belo Horizonte at the Portal Saber Espiritismo, and we are transmitting live to Kardec Radio, to Spiritist Network Dissemination, to the Discover Spiritist Network also. And today it's the 24th program, and we are continuing to study the faculty of mediumship, especially the Spiritist view of prophecies and mediumship, what's its purpose, what is expected, the Spiritist word expected with the mediums. Of course, the most important book of the Spirit's revelation is the Spirit's book by Allan Kardec of 1857, and those second and third, the second book, the Medium's book, and the last book, the Genesis, Miracles and Predictions According to Spiritism. In the Gospel according to Spiritism, there are a message by the spirit of Erasto that also is in the Medium's book, and Erasto wrote to Allan Kardec, "Go, therefore, and take the divine word. Arm yourself with the phalanx of decision and have courage. Get to work. The plow is ready to hold land. Keep plowing." And this instruction is good for all mediums, all spiritist workers in here on earth, incarnated or discarnated. We must take the divine word that we received from the higher plans, arm ourselves with decision, have courage, and get to work. This is a direct message to all of us, because the land is already prepared, and it is prepared to receive all the seeds of good, of love, of understanding, of comprehension that the Spirit's revelation gave us. Also, the mother of Chico Xavier, Mrs. Maria João de Deus, wrote through Chico Xavier in the book A Letter from a Dead Woman, Cartas de uma Morta, this important message: "It is up to us to run a grand movement for the restoration of pure beliefs." We must ask ourselves, what's the purpose of the Spiritist movement? It is not politics, it is not power, it is not fame, it is not money, it is not a simple pastime. We have a purpose. What purpose is that? As Chico Xavier's mother told him, as a matter of fact, was her mentor, told her, and his mother wrote to Chico Xavier, "It is up to us to run a grand movement of restoration of pure beliefs." A grand movement of restoration of pure beliefs. Is that so? Are we working on that? Because we have to restore the pure beliefs of man in God, in Jesus, in the higher spirits. If we are not doing this, we are in a wrong, completely wrong pathway. In the book The Consoler, O Consolador, the spirit of Emmanuel, Chico Xavier's mentor, responded to the question number 387. The question is, what is the greatest necessity of the medium? What is the greatest necessity of the medium? And Emmanuel responded, the first need is to evangelize the medium himself before surrendering to the great doctrinal tasks, because otherwise you can always run into the phantom of personalism to the detriment of its mission. This is a question very much in our need to understand, because we have to evangelize ourselves, mediums, speakers, rulers of spiritist centers and groups, and all kinds of people that are in a position to lead with the people, to understand and to communicate the works of our doctrine, the works that the higher spirits themselves gave us through Allan Kardec's work and through Chico Xavier works. And if we do not do this inner development, the inner transformation to evangelize ourselves, we for sure will incur in the error of personalism, and we will imprint our personalism in a wrongful way to the Spiritist movement. Also, we can see through Chico Xavier in the book Seara dos Médiuns, Field of Mediums, also by the Spirit of Emmanuel, that being a medium is to be the helper of the spiritual world. And to be the helper in a certain job is to be someone who helps spontaneously, to not overload those who are responsible or in charge for the work. So it's a process to help each other. It's a cooperation. Mediumship is a cooperation task. And the medium is the one that is asked to help the spiritual world with this task. And to be in the position to help the spiritual world in this job is necessarily the one that helps spontaneously, that doesn't cross his arms or her arms and waits and see. It's to be in a process to make a difference. Now we can see that the spirit of Neo Lúcio will write, thought is everything. Also, he wrote that through Chico Xavier. Thought is everything. All earthly buildings, all natural wonders that testify to progress are works of ideal. Nations, cities, laws are all exteriorizations of thoughts. Thoughts are the primary and indispensable potential to all achievements. He wrote that in the book Sementeira de Luz, in English would be Sower of Light, in the date of June the 3rd, 1942, through Chico Xavier in Fazenda Modelo in Pedro Leopoldo. Here is a picture of our dear Neo Lúcio in his last earthly life as Professor Arthur Joviano. So everything begins in our thoughts. Cities, nations, laws, organizations, enterprise, government, associations, books, artistic achievements, everything begins in our minds as thoughts, and they materialize through our works. So thoughts are the primary and indispensable potential to all achievements. And it's no difference according to the spiritists, the higher spiritists in the spiritual realm, in relation to the mediumship. Mediumship is possible because of the thought, because of our minds. And we must prepare our minds to be good mediums, to be reliable mediums to our mentors. And for a last word, we have also Emmanuel writing through Chico Xavier. Yesterday, you were what you have been. Tomorrow, you will be what you make of yourself. Today, however, you are what you are. So for that, do not detain yourself. Take advantage now to practice the goodness that you should and already can make it. We must fulfill our destiny. We must understand the special opportunity we are all given in this incarnation, here in the 21st century on Earth. Because the past is already past. What we were in the past, it doesn't matter now. We must focus on the today, on the present time. And we must understand that we cannot detain ourselves in the process of evolution. And we must take advantage of all those teachings, all those books that came through the higher spirits to the mediums in the 19th century, relating to the codification of the Spiritist revelation through Allan Kardec and all the works of his fellow friends and followers. And after that, in the 20th century, here in Brazil, through the works of Chico Xavier, only Chico Xavier, 525 books of knowledge, of love, of wisdom, all of that to our disposal. And we must understand that all of this and understand our own role in this process. So we must take advantage now, not tomorrow, now in the present time, to practice them, to understand goodness, to live the love we should live, and make it happen nowadays, not tomorrow. Here are some of the books that we can show you that are very much important. Books from Emmanuel, from André Luiz, from Humberto de Campos, for instance, Brasil, Coração do Mundo, Pátria do Evangelho, Brazil, Heart of the World, and Land of the Gospel by Humberto de Campos through Chico Xavier, Emmanuel, 2000 years ago, há 2000 anos, and The Pathway to Light, A Caminho da Luz. André Luiz, the books, of course, Our Home, The Messengers, Missionaries of Light, and In the Domain of Mediumship. Nosso Lar, Os Mensageiros, Missionários da Luz e Nos Domínios da Mediunidade. Other books that we suggested for Chico Xavier, André Luiz, Mechanisms of Mediumship, Disobsession, and Evolution in 2 Words. We can suggest also those books from Emmanuel, Seara dos Médiuns, Mediunidade e Sintonia e Anotações da Mediunidade. In English would be Pathway to Mediums, Mediumship and Syntony, and Notes to Mediumship. We also recommend this very important book from Irmão Jacó, the book Voltei through Chico Xavier. In English would be I Came Back, the Spirit of Irmão Jacó. And for our dear Martins Peralva, we recommend those 3 books, Estudando a Mediunidade, Studying Mediumship, Mediunidade e Evolução, Mediumship and Evolution, and Mensageiros do Bem, Messengers of Good. We also suggest all the books by the Spirit of Odilon Fernandes, by the medium Carlos Bacelli. He wrote 7 books around the subject of mediumship, those that you can see here, and another 6 books on this very much subject of mediumship. And also we suggest the works of Dr. Marlene Nobre, in the book O Dom da Mediunidade, The Mediumship Gift, and the works that we both wrote, me and Dr. Marlene Nobre, on the predictions of Chico Xavier. Não será em 2012, it will not be in 2012, and 2019, o ápice da transição planetária. 2019, the apse of the planetary transition. We thank you so much for being with us. Hope to see you soon next week, and we will continue to study this subject.